Whenever you're ready.
In preparation for this game, we talked a lot about needing a great effort and then needing great execution, especially with the way UAB changes defenses a lot. We were going to need the great effort on the glass because they're a really good offensive rebounding team. But then, of course, the execution of just the little things that go into a game. I thought our effort was pretty good. I thought we battled. They got some key offensive rebounds, but you look at the stat sheet of the way our team defended tonight and the resistance just in seeing it. Of course, we'll break it down by video. Thought the effort was good, was where it needed to be. The execution was not where it needed to be, especially on the offensive end. We made a couple mistakes on defense, but offensively, the turnover margin and just some of the plays that we needed to make. And again, give UAB credit. They keep people off balance. It's what they do. We just needed to be better today.
Barry?
It sounds like, when the game, the largest lead any team had was 4 points until the last 90 seconds. It seemed like this was a game that obviously you want to win every game, but there just seemed to be that effort there that you were talking about. Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, I thought our guys, we talked all about it. Certainly any game you play, you want to be able to learn from. And we had a lot to learn from the other night, especially from the effort standpoint. And I thought our effort was good tonight. And the focus that the guys had in practice and leading up to this, the coaches did a really nice job putting a game plan together, and the guys really looked to execute it. So it was one of those games that was a little bit slower just because we needed to take our time against their 1-3-1, their three-quarter 1-2-2. You can't just fly by all that stuff. But it was right there, and it's certainly disappointing. Felt like we had a couple plays that we could make different. We'd love to have back again, but unfortunately you don't get that opportunity.
Even though some of the slower pace, I will say you did have some good transition. You took advantage of some good transition, especially early in the game, and obviously not late in the game, but talk about, I think you did a good job on that.
Yeah, we had moments in both halves. We missed a couple shots, but it helped us keep in the game because we weren't having a lot of success in the half court. And we got to look at that and we got to find ways to improve there. But we felt like with the way that they crashed the glass and they send so many bodies in there, if we can get the basketball, we talked about let's get it out and go and see what openings are there, because it should be a broken floor with all the guys that crash the glass. So looking at the rebounding numbers, they shoot a lot of shots, and they get 14 offensive rebounds, which is still too many, but they're 20th in the country in offensive rebounding. This is one of the best, and I thought our guys showed more resistance, and I thought we turned it into some better baskets in transition.
And you've also got off to a better start than some of, I know you've had some slow starts, recently. So just talking about, you said, talking about the effort, was a huge part, but you didn't get into a big hole early like you've done.
Yeah, the last two games before this, we started off at a deficit, and one on the road and one against a really good defensive team, and you just can't get yourself into a hole. We talked about those things. We talked about rounds in a heavyweight fight, that you want to get off to a good start. You want to win round one. It was very close, and the whole game was close up until the very end when we needed to start fouling and try to extend the game. But I just thought our guys were ready to go today. They gave a great effort, and I can handle a great effort, of course, where now it's, hey, how can we get better execution-wise? And that's what we got to improve on. As long as we can keep that effort and keep growing that, now we got to get this group just to keep looking at the nuances of the game and figure out where we can get better, because there's a lot of basketball to be played, and we just got to improve.
And finally, down the stretch, obviously it's a close game, 5 minutes left. Then the last 5 minutes didn't go so well. What do you think probably was the biggest reason for that?
Well, we had a couple opportunities that didn't go down, and then they got a key offensive rebound, and they made a couple plays. And these games, I tell our team all the time, like you typically, I think it was a 68 possession game. It comes down to the last couple possessions. And you don't look at it like, hey, every possession has the same meaning, but at the same time you do, because every possession results in the end. And so it comes down to 3 possessions, 2 possessions. And in this game, a lot of times it was really 1 possession, and they got 1 on us. Then we're behind, then we're playing and come from behind mode on a short clock. So, again, give UAB credit for their execution down the stretch, but they scored a couple baskets when we didn't.
There you go.
Looked like a tough night for Kobe Williams out there. I'm just wondering what your philosophy is on when you have a point guard that is maybe scoring as well and turning the ball over, and with a guy that's more seasoned on him, do you give him a longer leash, or did you look at maybe trying to make a rotation change, or was that ever a thought process?
Yeah, we did for a little bit. He had a couple turnovers and then gave him a chance to come out and take a seat and just take a deep breath. He's very familiar with this team defensively. I thought we defended very well tonight. I still think he had some good moments defensively. Offensively, he had a tough night. And that's the decisions you make based on, okay, are we getting stops? Can we all of a sudden get something here at the end? He's had moments like that before. You just got to be able to kind of ride with guys and give them confidence, but at the same time, it's a total team effort. But he had a tough night tonight.
I feel like the ball started to stick a little bit towards the end of the game. Lots of late shots in the shot clock. Felt like early on you guys were moving the ball really well and moving bodies around too. Did it feel like things were starting to stick maybe there late in the game?
Yeah, so they went to the 1-2-2, and that took a little bit more time off, and then they fell back to the 2-3 for a couple passes, and then they went man-to-man. So we were trying to move it, but again, you can't rush through a 1-2-2. You can't. We don't want to dribble into a trap. We were really trying to take care of the basketball. It felt like we were running out of time, and some of that was ball sticking. Some of it was them stretching their gaps a little bit. We were trying to keep it in a couple guys' hands to make them go man-to-man and then hit them with action. Then they were switching 1 through 5 at times too. So some of it was recognition. Some of it was, hey, let's be cautiously aggressive here, but we got to take a look at the tape. We needed to find some better shots. Being able to dribble it and just try to create something at the very end was playing into their hands.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
All right,